Hey guys, so I'm coming at you today from the studio, and I am just going in and finishing up this fitness session that I took. This was a pretty just low-key session, no lights, no anything. I think I actually ended up using a speed light. This is actually for my trainer that just wanted a few promo pictures, nothing crazy and special. So I thought I would bring you along for my editing. From here, I'll just kind of walk you through what I'm kind of doing for each picture. Unfortunately, we had to shoot in a gym that was like red, white, and blue, so there were color casts. That blue color cast is about everywhere. You'll see that some of these pictures are already edited because I needed to get up at least a sneak peek for him, as he needed these a while back ago, but I'm just now getting to them. So like I said, as you can see, I'm just going through and, straightening them, sending a few of them over to Photoshop, but not doing crazy things to them. You can see that blue wall back there, these are our TRX machines, so people put their hands all over them when they're sweaty and disgusting. And the TRX is also like the handles also scratch them up a lot, so you'll see me later go into Photoshop and take a lot of those away. I'm gonna just get through this and kind of come back and tell you other things that need to be, I guess, explained a little bit. So like you see in that one, I just sent that one to Photoshop. A lot of these, like I said, I was using a speed light and having to bounce my flash off of blue walls. So I was really trying to direct that blue light. So I was using a reflector sometimes when I was using my speed light, so I wouldn't have to reflect off that blue wall, and that helped a lot. But there were crazy shadows. He was also trying to hide the fact that we were in his gym where he works. So as you can see, like that fit body back there, though all of the walls are blue, that didn't hide it. But see, I just cropped out a little bit more of that logo back there. You'll see me later in Photoshop take the logo off of the walls. There was a lot of shots I just tried to do for marketing ways, for Instagram, all that kind of stuff for him to use. So nothing like that was crazy. These ones, obviously my flash did not trigger. I think I ended up having to switch the batteries on it. So definitely having to brighten those up. Mainly just a lot of straightening and all that kind of stuff. So this is really just a basic edit. Like I said, nothing too crazy, but I thought I would just bring you guys along today. Okay, so here is another one. You're going to see where those blue walls and the blue floor just did a number on my white balance. So I am just trying to put a little bit of color back in his skin, but not be blue. And there were times that I struggled at it a little bit. I was using the white walls as a kind of my white for my white balance. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. You'll see I'm just going back and forth, trying to get his skin tones right, but also keep his shirt nice and black. These next ones, I was trying to get a little bit more creative. I wasn't working with much, unfortunately, and I was working, obviously, as you can see, with some horrible lighting. But I knew he wanted to use these for marketing, so I figured these could be like more of his casual pictures. And using that white space, I was actually shooting through some cubicles. You might be able to see them in a couple of shots at the end. And you can see, like, obviously the camera read that. Well, first of all, it was very dark in the gym. So I probably should have taken my speed light off and actually just used it on him instead of just shutting off the speed light and trying to use the natural light. But like I said, it's no big deal. I end up making a few adjustments in here with the radial adjustment tool. But you'll see later also, because normally, so my process is, if you haven't seen all my other ones, is that I will do most of my adjustments in Lightroom as much as I possibly can, and then take the ones that I need into Photoshop and use Photoshop to do all of my other adjustments. So you'll see that one come back at the end because I want to brighten that one back up, and I'll use some curves and everything to redirect that, and some masks to redirect the light on that one. Definitely don't worry about this shot. This was a joke pretty much for his girlfriend. As you can see, I barely did any editing to it. Okay, so these ones, again, I was trying to get a little bit creative with the very little I had at that point. So these are actually some bands that I didn't really realize I was even shooting through, to tell you the honest truth. Sometimes you just get cool shots. I was actually trying to use these bars to shoot through, and then forgot those bands were there, and they created this green cast, which I thought was pretty cool. But I definitely didn't want them green, so I ended up taking, as you see, in the desaturation out of them and just turned them black and white. Other than that, the rest of this is pretty, self-explanatory. These ones, I think I just did some color balance and that kind of stuff. Again, like I said, this wasn't a super fancy fitness session. He just needed a few pictures to use for marketing. There's those cubbies that I was shooting through. Like I said, you'll see here in a minute in the Photoshop, I end up taking some of the distracting things out. Here we go. Into Photoshop. See, I end up taking that water bottle out. I end up taking that out. Just some distracting things that I should have moved in the first place and wasn't paying attention to. Again, another lesson, pay attention to your background so you don't have to spend a few minutes in Photoshop doing that kind of stuff, because that was probably a real easy thing that I could have just had my assistant take off of the cubbies. These ones you're going to see, there I go, taking out a logo. He didn't want it. I ended up actually trying to take out a few of the posters in the background just so that it's not so fit body. I wasn't going to mess with that other one on the other side just because that would have been too much Photoshop. You'll see me go back and forth with a couple of things like, is it worth it? Is it not worth it to sit here and do it? Like this one, I had to go in and paint, I think, a little bit. Here are these walls that I was talking about earlier that people were touching. You can't see too much on the black and white ones, but I thought this picture was pretty cool. Um, he got pretty low in that darn squat. He wasn't doing anything big, weight, obviously, as you can see, but just working out some squats. Okay, so this is what I was talking about, these walls that I have no idea, people putting their hands all over. After I seen these pictures, I was like, oh my gosh, go clean your walls. But they were definitely distracting, so I took them out and I believe I painted over some of them and just smoothed out that wall a little bit. Okay. All right, so as you can see, I am pretty much done. I'm just going through all my images and deleting the extras in Photoshop because I save right from Photoshop and they go back into Lightroom. So I'm just getting ready to export here. Other than that, thank you guys so much for being here, and I hope to see you in the next one. If you have anything that you want to see more editing wise, just let me know in the comments, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next one. Thanks. Bye.